So thank you to everybody for coming out tonight. For those that are watching this on replay, you should have been here. We're going to have lots and lots of fun, and we have a draw for any of our customers that are on live tonight. So if you are watching this later on, then you'll see you should have been here. So today we're going to talk about floors, and hopefully my share screen will work okay here. Oh, hang on, let me get this one going. So Jenny couldn't be here. She's on another
okay, I'm going on mute.
Jenny's on another call. So she screen two. So she sent us a video. So okay, do you see my screen with a title on it?
Yes.
Perfect. Technology. All right, now I have to find the other one.
Okay, now
all right. So we're going to talk about floors, but I mean, even though it's called the floor system, you can use it for other things. So I think Sarah will probably talk a little bit about that. And we just want to thank everybody for coming out on World ENJO Day, because it's a great day, right? Okay, so this is Jenny, and here we go.
Hello, hello. This is Jenny Hall coming at you from my kitchen. I want to give you a quick demonstration on our ENJO floor system. Super easy. I wish I had known about the ENJO floor system many, many years ago. It would have saved me lots of money on Swiffers, on mops, on buckets, on soap. This is the only floor system you will ever need. It is so easy, and I'd like to give you a quick demonstration. As you can see behind me, it stands up on its own, which is really, really cool. So when you do need to move something or answer the phone while you're cleaning the floors, you can just, I'll show you really quickly how the collar moves up and down, and when it's locked, it will stand on its own. So let's see how quickly and how easy it is to use the ENJO floor system. Here we go. Okie dokie. So I was talking about the collar and how it locks and stands on its own. So this collar here moves up and down. So when I move that collar up, that'll give me the mobility in the pole. And when I put that down, it is going to stand on its own. So the other really cool thing about the floor system pole is it is ergonomically designed. So you can raise it to the height that you need it to be for whatever height you are. It should be about nose height for you. So I'm just going to get that in place. Put that collar back down again. Stands on its own. Amazing. I'll go back just a little bit so you can see it a little bit easier. Alrighty, I would love to show you how easy it is to load the floor fibers. This is our dust fiber. You're going to use this one dry. It is beautiful for all of your sweeping and dusting needs. All I'm going to do is put that on the floor like that. I am going to hit the open tab here on the floor plate, and that's going to collapse the floor plate. And then I'm going to put that into the floor fiber. I am going to get my collar ready to go, and that's all there is to loading the floor fiber. I'm just going to show you real quick how easy it is to use. I haven't done my floors actually in a little bit. That's for the washing, so I'm just going to move that ENJO there. I haven't done the floors in a little bit, so I'm curious to see what you're going to see. I'm just going to do this one section. This is all there is to sweeping and dusting your floors. Very easy on your back. Super easy. Let's have a look. I'm going to hit the open tab again. Release that floor plate. Put it down there. Let's have a look and see what has been collected. Our dust floor fiber collects all of that microscopic dust as well. I'm just going to take that outside and bang the dust out. Now, to quickly wash the floors. Very, very super easy. This is our soft floor fiber. As I was saying, no more buckets, no more soap. All I'm going to do is take my ENJO water bottle, which of course only has water in it, and I'm going to spray my floor fiber. Super, super easy. I may want to spray the floor as well. Totally up to you. I again, going to put that floor fiber
Whoops.
down. This, I'm going to actually put one, the plate, sorry, in one vinyl sleeve, hit that open button, and that is going to collapse the floor plate, so I don't even have to bend down. And now, same thing, gentle circular motions, or more of like an S motion back and forth. I don't have to use this motion. I'm able to keep my back straight, and that is all there is to washing your floors. That's it. And we do have different floor fibers for the different floors that you may have in your home. Beautiful, easy. I'll just do a quick look at that floor fiber as well. Of course, I'm just doing one section, and that's all there is to cleaning and washing your floors with ENJO. That's the ENJO floor system. I hope you enjoyed. Easy peasy, non-toxic, just with water, ENJO floor fibers. Your floor fibers are lasting you an average of 3 years or more. Great money savings. Thanks. Bye. Hello.
All right. For some reason, every time I try to do that, it starts the video again. I'm pressing skip though. So I'm going to send it over to Sarah now.
All right. So we just want to talk about or reinforce exactly what Jenny had said on the ergonomicness of our floor system. So putting it between your nose and your chin, there's a great graphic here to make it the correct height for you. And I do love it. I have little kids that we can make it ergonomic to fit them. And then my husband, you know, it can reach as tall as him. So it's great that it's versatile for everyone to be able to use. So get rid of those old mops and buckets and switch to the ENJO way. It is the best way, and it's going to be the best for your floors. Next slide. So what century are you cleaning in? We have everywhere from the 1950s right through to the 2000s. And I know before ENJO, I tried a lot of those older versions. I was never happy with them. They always left streaky residue on my floors. My floors always seemed dull. They seemed to get dirty faster. And when I switched to ENJO and started washing with just water, the difference that it made for my floors, and the fact that, you know, when you're done cleaning, you can actually walk across them without your feet getting black and without leaving marks. I really do love that as well. So really there is big differences, but what I really love the most is that it doesn't hurt my back to use the product, and that I don't have to lug around a whole bunch of mops and buckets and different cleaners that are going to be harmful to my family and myself. Next. So we're going to go over just the different fibers. So we have the dust fiber, and as you can see, the dust fiber is designed to pick up and trap all of the dust-borne particles in the house, and they can pick up a lot of other things like hair. I've picked up nail clippings, cereal. I've picked up a lot of different things over the years with that fiber, and you just take it outside and shake it off, or take it over to your garbage can and pull it off. Or you can also vacuum it off, especially if you are highly allergic to dust-borne particles. Trapping it in the vacuum and maybe not waving it around outside would make sure that all of the dust is completely gone and not getting it as much into your airways. So those are just a few ways to clean it off. The floor or the dust fiber doesn't have to be washed on a regular basis. Maybe once every couple of weeks, you can throw that in the wash. Or if it gets around any mud and stuff like that, and you can see it getting all caked up, then you just throw it in the wash for a good washout. The next one is our soft floor fiber, and the soft floor fiber is good for every type of floor in your home. It's not going to do any damage to any of your floors. It's really specialized for the delicate floors, your hardwood floors, your bamboo floors, anything that's more delicate. The ENJO fiber is highly recommended for it because it's leaving a very minimal amount of water so that it's not damaging the wood, and it's not leaving any product residue to sit on the floor. So it gives it the clean and without damaging. You can also use it for other areas in your home, but you might need a stronger floor fiber every now and then in those areas. It's more for quick everyday washing of the areas, and then a deep clean would come in with the medium fiber. Next. So we move on to the medium fiber. This is great for linoleum floors, laminate floors. It is not recommended for wood oiled floors. That being said, you can use it occasionally on floors if you're trying to pull up a residue or have a heavier dirt in those areas. Chemical residue can be pretty nasty to get up, so you do need a stronger residue to remove that, and we'll talk about that a little bit further in this presentation. Next. So then this says medium fiber on the
It should say strong.
It should say strong. So this is the strong fiber. It's the same fiber as the back of the dark fiber on your living glove. This fiber will remove wax coatings from floors, ceilings, or walls. So you do need to be careful where you use it. It can be used indoors. I have used this indoors on a lot of different floor surfaces. I really like using it on tiled floors to help clean out the grout, especially if the grout's really bad. And I also use this fiber a lot on cleaning cement in the garage. I've cleaned up tranny fluid out of my husband's garage with this. I clean up the mold out of our basement if there's any mold on the cement down there. So it really is a very handy cloth. And for light cleaning on the decks and stuff like that, you can use that as well. What I also use it for is with chemical residue. So if we move over to the next slide, you can see if your floors seem really dull or cloudy, there's probably a layer of chemical residue. And I've been selling ENJO for 5 years today. It's my anniversary. And I will say that I am, I think, the only Canadian rep that has a ENJO anniversary on World ENJO Day. So that's kind of exciting and cool. Oh, you went backwards, Theo.
I didn't touch it.
So, but it wasn't until I think last summer actually that I started learning about real chemical residue on floors. I was hired to clean a customer's house that had, when they moved in, their floors were really sparkling clean. It was a new build for them. And they said their floors kept on getting worse over the years. And they had been borrowing their daughter's ENJO mop, but hadn't been seeing a difference. So when I went there, you can actually go to the next slide, Sion. This is what their floors looked like. And you can see in spots where some of it was peeling up, and that was as I was washing it, this residue was lifting and breaking. And so the soft floor fiber that they were using was not breaking the wax coating that the chemicals had left behind. So they had been using Bona since they moved in. And every time they did a layer of Bona on the floor, it would go over and then seal with like a heavy, hard wax layer. And then they'd put another layer on top of that and another layer on top of that. So every time you washed, you would just remove one layer at a time. So this actually took me, it was only a living room and kitchen. And it took me 15 hours, because I was there twice, 15 hours to remove all the residue, because it was actually probably about 1/8 of an inch thick of how much residue was piled up on these floors. So I really want to explain that to people, because I know some reps have had, have gone into a house and someone's got a floor system and maybe they haven't fallen in love with it because they don't realize how much chemical residue is actually there. And when you start smearing that chemical residue around, your fibers are getting filled with soap and you're just spreading the soap around, and then that soap is leaving a cloudy finish on the floors. So until you completely remove that residue, you will never be satisfied with ENJO. So in the picture previous, if you just want to go back there, Seal, for a second, on the right-hand side here with the blue glove, that was another customer's house where I had been cleaning for about 6 months. And then I cleaned the other house and realized about residue. And so I messaged my customer and said, look, this is soap coming off your floors, and this is why I was never happy. She was always happy with how clean I left her floors, but I knew they could be better. And so when I took the strong fibers to her floors, you could see all that crud coming up. So Valerie has asked a question, 15 hours for the other floors. You can go back to that picture. Yes, 15 hours. It was 8 hours one day and the other part of it in another visit, or another 2 visits. So I did a visit, an 8-hour visit, and then another visit after that, in which I worked. And it was a hot day that I did it for the 8 hours, and I never took a break because I knew it was going to be bad, but I didn't realize it was going to be that hard to remove it all. So it really was just removing really deep layers. And it was the strong floor fiber that I used, as well as the strong fiber on the living glove to remove all that buildup. Next one. So then we also have the extreme fiber. Now the extreme fiber I only use inside on grout and tiled floors like that. The extreme fiber can
maybe if we buy the fiber, we could do.
Sorry, Danielle, I muted you.
Yeah, the extreme fiber, sorry, got distracted there, is great for stained grout, stained concrete, garage floors, decking. This is what I use to actually strip the paint off my deck so that we could get it ready to reseal it again because everything was peeling away. So don't use on delicate floors, but is great for outdoors and great for getting mold out of cement and stuff like that. Does anybody have any question? Oh, yeah, Sion?
It's actually so we built a multi-level deck at my grandparents' place, and their house is in the country, and there's a train that runs right beside their property. So you get all the soot from the train that lands on the deck, and we made it out of composite because we thought this way we don't have all the wood maintenance. So it's a light gray with black soot all over it all the time, and the extreme floor fiber works brilliantly to lift all that soot and everything out of it.
That's awesome. We did have a question. Does it remove rust stains on concrete floors? It depends how long the rust stains are there and how deep they're penetrated. I do believe that ENJO will remove the rust stains. You might need calcium dissolver with the fibers to help penetrate the rust stain, but the fiber itself might work. it's always worth a try. Does anybody else have any experience with rust stains on concrete? Nope. Okay. So next slide. So just
So
in case you got a small screen, we can read these out to you. This customer says, I'm officially obsessed. Use the floor cleaning system today, and honestly, my floors have never been so clean. I actually feel the difference walking on it, even with socks on. And this one says, my dog has stopped his breathing issues inside the house after 8 years. Muddy paw prints get cleaned within seconds, and all other surfaces are cleaned so much faster. I love those testimonials.
I actually have one that I don't have a graphic for because she just gave this to me. But I have a customer who she was moving from local to me out towards Ottawa. And I think it was 2 or 3 days before the actual day of her move, she fell on. So, you know, when you're going through your patio door and you've got like that bumpy spot where all the metal and everything is. So she landed on that and broke her leg really badly, like to the point where she had to have surgery, and she was moving. So she had just bought the ENJO Floor system and she's in a wheelchair. It's been 2 months now, and she's just able to put light pressure on her leg. But she's like, my floors, my big concern was I wanted my floors to stay clean because they looked so good when we bought the house. And with the ENJO Floor system, she can adjust it to the right height and she can use it very easily, even in a wheelchair.
That's amazing. So does anybody have any questions? You can put them in the comments or unmute yourself if you have any.
Danielle, it sounded like you had a question.
No, I was just thinking, my deck is pretty old and I thought this year we needed to stain it, but I wanted to pressure clean it first. So hubby says, oh, you probably shouldn't pressure clean it because it might fall apart. So I was thinking maybe if I had a different fiber, then maybe I could try cleaning that before I stain it.
If you go to my page or come to my backyard,
Yep.
you'll see there's one board that I did on ours this year.
Yeah,
and you can see the difference. It's huge.
mm-hmm. Well, I think maybe I saw yours and then I saw that picture again, one of them the last few days. And that's why I was like, I wonder if I should do that. So I have to decide what I want to do.
Yeah, it's cheaper than a new deck.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and it's really easy, especially if we get any rain. If you do it on a day that rains and the deck's already wet for you, then you can just go out there and scrub it. I actually lent mine to my dad probably about 2 or 3 years ago. He had built a new deck, which was a continuation from his old deck.
Yep.
And I'm like, Dad, you can't leave that. Like, they look horrible side by side, this new deck wood versus old deck wood. I'm like, you have to wash that. So it rained one morning and I dropped off my floor system and the strong fiber, and he went out in the rain, like it was just a light drizzly rain, right? And washed the deck off, and both of them then matched. So it was much nicer.
So you would need the strong fiber.
I would suggest the extreme fiber, because the extreme fiber is gonna rough everything up for you. And then you can just wash whatever's there off with water.
Okay, thanks.
So Danielle, the extreme fiber is the rough side of the outdoor duo glove, which is very comparable. I believe, I'm not sure you have that one, but I think you've got the pet glove. So the rough side of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can talk to you tomorrow about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Nope.
Yes.
was that with the new pole or were you using the new pole, and what's the difference between the old pole and the new pole?
So all of our videos and pictures pretty much, except for this one right here, are the existing pole.
Okay.
So functionality wise, there's no difference with the new one. They haven't quite started shipping the new ones yet, but soon. So we don't know exactly when.
Exactly.
So the difference is the new poles will be made of 100% recycled materials, but they still function exactly the same way. So I happen to have both of them right here. So it's just the look is different, but they both have the same twist part. They both don't have any metal screws or anything like that. They're both sleek. It's still got the metal and the plastic in the same spots. So
Okay.
all intents and purposes, you would have no idea that there was anything different.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
All right. So the floor system, we're talking about it. So we're going to explain to you different ways that you can purchase the floor system. So as with everything with ENJO, you can buy individual pieces here and there. So if you were to do that, you could, like if you needed an extra floor pole, for instance, because you're doing floors constantly and you need a pole for your window combi or something like that, then you can buy just the pole. Or you can buy just the plate if you need to replace it. And then the floor fibers are individual, because once you have the pole and the plate, you don't need to replace those ones unless something, God forbid, happens. So everything is available individually. So the ones that typically go into bundles or sale prices are the dust, the medium, and the soft floor fibers. I'm not sure I've seen the strong or the extreme be on any sales while I've been with ENJO. Have you, Sarah?
I think maybe we had it once, like maybe about 4 or 5 years ago.
So those ones, if those ones are ones that you're really interested in, my suggestion is host a cleaning class or a demo, and that way you can get a discount on those ones because they are more expensive, and they're also the ones that you don't use as often. Like your go-to is going to be your dust, your soft, or your medium. So I'm not cleaning my deck as often as I'm cleaning my kitchen floor. So those are all the individual prices, but it's always better to bundle stuff up. So we have what is called the ENJO floor system pack. So with this, you get the pole, the plate, and your choice of 2 fibers. So you can get dust, soft, medium, or any combination of those. So you can get any 2 of those ones. And over the 3 years, it breaks down to about $1.66 a week. So think about especially if you're a Swiffer person, like I don't know, because it's been probably 5 years since I've used those. I don't have a clue what they cost anymore, but add up all of those wet and dry Swiffer cloths that you're also throwing away and contributing to how much garbage you're putting out every week. That adds up pretty quickly. And over 3 years, $1.66, but then you only need to replace your fibers. And the dust fiber I find lasts longer than 3 years because I'm not having to wash it as often. So really good savings, like Jenny said in her video. So another way that you can get the floor system is in what is called the Healthy Home Pack. Now with that, you get other zones for the house as well. And it's just, again, you get your pole, your plate, and your choice of 2 of the fibers. And it's always up to you. So if you have questions about what are the best fibers for your floors, we do have a cheat sheet which lists different floor types and which fiber is best for those floor types, and we're more than happy to help you figure out which one is best for you. So did you hear that you can shop online now? So if you go to it depends who your consultant is. So you're going to go to www.enjo.ca/ the first initial of their first name and then their last name, all one word. You can see if they've set up their ENJO shop. So it works on both computers and on your cell phone. So just verify, because I know there are a lot of people that are just getting them set up right now, so they may not be working. But if you have any questions, you can always talk to your ENJOpreneur, but know that this option is there and available for you now, so that if you have a brainwave at 2 o'clock in the morning, you don't have to wait and try to remember to get a hold of one of us. So we are always looking for ENJOpreneurs. When you consider how big Canada is and how few of us there are across Canada, we desperately need some help. So if you or anyone that you know is interested in joining this amazing team, then please reach out, because I know Sarah, Jenny, and I, and all the rest of the Zone Rangers, we're geographically, we're not right next door to each other, and we're the closest ones to each other. So we need people to fill in the gaps and to help us. We work better together. So the more of us there are, the more we learn from each other and the more we help each other. So if you do know anybody, please let them know, because you get to do things like this and celebrate your 5-year anniversary. So Sarah didn't know about this slide, and while I was talking to her earlier today, I had Crystal put it together for me so that I could put it in tonight. So we just want to say, Sarah, thank you so much for joining ENJO 5 years ago, because without you, our team would not be even remotely the same. And I'm so excited to see what you will do in the next 5 years with ENJO. And with that, I think we came in pretty close. We really tried to aim for 30 minutes, but I think we're almost at 35. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen because I can't see any comments. So Sarah, were there any questions or anything while we went through that we missed?
I think we did pretty good on the questions. I will get one tidbit before we stop the recording. One thing I thought of afterwards was orange blossom. And when we talk about the chemical residue, orange blossom with your fibers, put a little bit of it in your water or on your fiber, can help break down the waxy buildup, because it's a heavy degreaser. It will help break down the heavy buildup on your floors. And that could be used in conjunction with a softer fiber if it's a lighter layer of buildup, and can also help you figure out if it's buildup or what's going on in your floors. So I just want to, and that's also a way to wash out your fibers if they've got really badly dirty, especially if you're cleaning up transmission fluid in the garage like I did. I did have to soak my fiber in some warm water and washing up liquid before laundering it to remove all that grease. And the next thing I cleaned after that was, in fact, my sister-in-law's pool with the same fiber, and there was no grease in her pool. So you can remove the grease from the fibers. It's not a one-time use. If it was a one-time use, I would have stopped selling it 5 years ago.
Sarah, I actually have a question. So do you remember the last time you were at my place? In the driveway, there was, I don't even know what it is, something for my husband's car kind of all over the driveway. And it's been there for at least a year now. And every time I walk past it, I think, I should get the ENJO out and clean that. So I'm assuming the extreme fiber, do you think using some of that orange blossom might help to break it up?
I'd probably go with strong fiber.
Okay.
Try the strong fiber with the washing up liquid if you need it. And then, because the extreme fiber only breaks up and agitates the pores.
That's what I need to do first.
The strong fiber will soak up and pick up as it cleans, whereas the extreme only agitates. So in a situation like that, I probably have both fibers available, one to agitate, but the other one to do the main cleaning.
Good. Guess now I have to do it.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions?